Good morning, my esteemed viewers. Welcome to today's political discussion. From now till 2027, it's all about politics, politics, politics. Northern Nigeria versus Southern Nigeria, the APC versus the coalition, Nigerians against their leaders. Now, let's focus on Northern Nigeria. One of the biggest politicians in Northern Nigeria is in a critical condition to have been pronounced dead. I repeat, biggest popular politician in Northern Nigeria, leader in Northern Nigeria, is in a critical condition to have been pronounced dead. This is the only politician that has what it takes to mobilize millions of Northerners in an election. And that person is Buhari. We have reports that Buhari may have been pronounced dead, but it is not yet confirmed. These are unconfirmed reports. But we know that Buhari is in a critical condition. We understand the paparazzi around a Buhari who is the former president. They may not to announce that he is dead outrightly or whatever, or his condition. Yes, the implications of announcing a Buhari's departure from this earth is far more reaching than many of us may think. Buhari is the powerhouse of Northern Nigeria. Buhari was one person who contested and polled 12 million votes. We know that everybody will go and meet their Lord one day. Everybody will die at one point in time. But Buhari's death, if Buhari is truly dead at this point in time, it is going to be a greater loss to Northern Nigeria. A greater loss. He is critically ill, he's sick, but his death is going to be a greater loss to Northern Nigeria. At this point in time, where we have North and South battle, Northern politicians battling Southern politicians, Northern influence battling Southern influence, and Buhari is that one person that is more influential than any other person in Northern Nigeria. Atiku El-Rufai does not come close when you talk about Buhari. So the message, the information about the news about Buhari's death, if it were to be true, like I said, it is not confirmed yet. If it were to be true, it is going to be a great disaster to Northern Nigeria. I have said this before that Buhari is one person that can mobilize against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Buhari, one person. Buhari is one person. If he's active in politics, he's one person in Northern Nigeria that can mobilize Northerners and get the numbers in their quantity against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. His loyalty is not transferable. I repeat, his loyalty, his popularity, his base is not transferable. If he's going to even transfer it, I don't know who is going to be able to handle that position Buhari handled. Whatever happens to Buhari, we just pray that God in heaven would help Northern Nigeria and the family to bear whatever loss may come in the future. We have done data. He is a normal thing. Everybody, if you are old, you expect that your time on earth has finished. You expect that you go and meet your God. But now that Tinubu is holding Northern Nigeria by the neck, Tinubu is whipping Northern Nigerian politicians, that a Buhari, Northerners go turn to orphan. Northern politicians, they go turn to orphan at the end of the day. You see an article, you see an El-Rufai. If Buhari leaves them, they go fight for the inheritance. Usually, Atiku El-Rufai, they don't even grieve for themselves in the first place. It is just because politics, like I said, politics is just about interest. No friends, no enemies. So Atiku is so much interested in that presidency. Before he died, he won't test that presidency. And Atiku is not a small boy. Atiku by 2027, he going to approach 80. 2031, he going to approach 80. And if you are 80 years in today's world, what are you looking for again? What else do you want to see? What do you want to do? You are 80. If I'm 80, I prefer to go and meet my God. So Atiku, we know the desperation behind his wanting to be president by all means. It's because if he misses that opportunity of 2027, it's going to be so disastrous for him. That is why we are saying Buhari not being in their lives now, Buhari not being alive and healthy and active now, is a big minus to northern Nigeria. Let me talk am. Like I said, Tinubu is dealing with northern Nigeria. Now, he has decimated them to the extent that we don't have middle belt as part of northern Nigeria anymore. Those people that are bragging that we are coalition, we are Fulani, North will remember. The North that is remembering now is minus middle belt. Let's say North Central. The North. Even Northwest self, no, they remember again because of interest and alliance. If you tell me that Buhari is not in support of the coalition, I'll be looking at you. You don't understand the full animal. Two truths can coexist. Like I said, somebody asked me, presidency, Igbo presidency and Biafra, which one do you want? I told the person, because we don't learn politics now from people. From whatever happened from 2023 till now, I don't learn a lot. I'm learning, you learn politics in school, theoretical. When you come outside, you now do the practical. Practical is different from theory. So from 2023 till now practical they do since. So I answered the question. I told the person, two truths can coexist. Do you agree? He said, yes. I said, I can support an Igbo presidency and I can support Nnamdi Kanu. But me, I told the person, most important for me, because amongst the two truths, one will be much more, most important for me, it is the restructuring of Nigeria. However, Buhari not being alive, when this politics is being played against northern Nigeria, my brother, there's a big problem. Because Tinubu go to deal, if Tunu becomes president 2027, he go to deal with this northerners. I'm telling you, a southern person could be able to stand up at a particular point in time, set the example of dealing with northerners. Man, it is something else. If Tinubu is able to win without the Buhari, the only person, like I said, the only person that is even stopping a Tinubu from entering some of these coalition members is a Buhari. The only person that is stopping Tinubu. Buhari now, let's say the rumors that is flying up and down, the reports that is flying up and down is true. Buhari is actually dead. Give him 3 months. They'll bury and mourn the dead. Malami and co, all of them. Malami. Already there's an allegation on Malami, millions of dollars on Malami already. The FCC, DSS, all of them have been alerted. Don't ask me why is Tinubu playing this kind of politics. Should be all of us agree. All of us agree say Nigeria would better be. Let us be playing the Nigeria that would better. Whereby one thing I even thought about Tinubu's guys, I don't know whether it's a directive given to them, those their media aides. Instead of the media aides to be selling the achievements of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they are telling us what Atiku and Obi cannot do. Instead of the president to focus on governance, he's into politics and trying to look how he's going to win in the next elections. That's why I've said it at the first instance that Nigeria is not designed for anything called progress and development. People think I'm playing or I don't know what I'm saying. And it is even clear. Since I was born, now I'm getting old. We have been saying Nigeria will get better. My fathers, since they were born, they say Nigeria will get better. And some of them are even dead, are old. Who is now deceiving who? So now, their criminal cases are being piled up for Malami. Should be Hadi Sirika. They say I'm not leaving APC because they have seen the handwriting on the wall. They have seen the handwriting on the wall. So as it is, if Buhari is no more, Tinubu will start dealing with Buhari's boys. People, you say this small boy doesn't know what he's saying. When Buhari is out of it, because the guy is, Buhari is critically ill. The guy is very, very sick. If he's dead, it is not bad news. I'm telling you. But I'm just saying that it is only bad news. The family will bear the loss. The family is, yes, every family has their experience. But the baddest news is for the political, for the politicians in northern Nigeria. The political class in northern Nigeria. That's going to be the biggest, baddest news. Buhari's death. Baddest news to the political class. All of them will now turn to political orphan because none of them can be able to pull the sentiment. Another person that had that sentiment is a P2B. The way they loved a Buhari, I don't understand. And the way P2B got the love, having the obedient movement, my brother, it is something divine. So the two people close to having such, man, it's a P2B, a Buhari. Politically, we can say Baptist. Buhari people, they follow Buhari like say they be cultists. They belong to a cult. The same way the obedient movement are following the P2B. So an Erufai cannot get what Buhari is getting. An Atiku, all those ones being alive, they go the father's inheritance. That's so they go this drag them, fight themselves. As they fight themselves, Tinubu go there for a day. They plant people to they destroy them. Left, right, center. Somebody says, don't reveal too much. My brother, people have eyes, they can see you. People have brain, they can decipher. When things are happening, people can see. So there's nothing new I'm saying here that some other persons or few persons will not think like, yes, what this guy is saying, it's actually making sense. It's actually making sense. If Buhari's death will be the biggest loss to the political class in northern Nigeria, Buhari's death, and Tinubu will take advantage of it and deal with them very well. That is the goal, to make sure that Fulani is less influential. Buhari, we have very few people of Buhari's Tunu. We have an Obasanjo, we have a Gowon. These guys are the old. The only thing I pray happens in southern Nigeria is for southern Nigeria to unite. That's my prayer. I'm telling you. Whoever that is planting hatred, now you know. Whoever that is saying Igbos and Yorubas, Shekiris, Ijos cannot unite. Now you know that one. All of us go talk. We go. Our generation will come and go. The next generation, you see, one day southern Nigeria will unite. One day, maybe not in our generation. We hate ourselves. We don't like ourselves, and we are so religious. Don't worry. Let that happen. Because if I were to be a bigot, there's no need of going to church. I can be a traditionalist. But the church that we are going, or you are saying this, but I wish, because the Northern Coalition, the Fulani-led Northern Nigeria, they are a formidable people. Although their leadership may have gone, but they will take time to build another leadership. And as they are taking time to build another leadership, Southern Nigeria needs to come together. Whether we are in a separate region or countries, even though you have a Biafra, we have Oduduwa, or we have Ijaw Nation, there needs to be international collaboration. There needs to be. There's nothing that will happen that will extinguish an Igbo man. There's nothing that will happen that will extinguish a Yoruba man. There's nothing that will happen that will extinguish anybody in Nigeria. Whatever threat to anybody, Igbo people are this. Nothing will stop people from becoming Igbo and Yoruba and them being alive in the next 1,000 years. Nothing will stop them. But the most important thing is alliance. To make sure that these Fulani, they are systematically chased out of Nigeria. Because they are not bringing, they have not come with good news. And they are master decept, man. At deceit, they are masters. Manipulation, they are masters. They don't know how to do propaganda, but manipulation and deceit. Fake humility. Having to pretend. High master pretender. Having to pretend to hold on to something and use that thing against you. Very mean set of human beings, I'm telling you. The only thing is to systematically, as their grip on Nigeria, removing one finger, the second one, 3, 4, 5, from at a time. That is the only thing that needs to happen in today's Nigeria, in today's Tinubu administration. I'm not using the death of, or the rumored death, or whatever, the condition of Buhari. Myself, I won't even, if I feel live the kind of life Buhari live, I go thank God. The guy has lived his fulfilled life. But for politics' sake, for the political class, they will turn to political orphans, and their father will be a southern person. Their father. Now, they should save their face. I don't like people not being... See, when I had a conversation with somebody, the person was telling me, how can Atiku become a vice to Obi? I looked at him. Well, low self-esteem, I ain't worry you. Obi was underrated 2023, and he got that influence. Tinubu was underrated. They said Lagos is not federal government. People underrate themselves. You low self-esteem. Why would an Atiku not deputize Obi? As what now? Who is Atiku? Atiku, just like a Buhari, because of the geographical location that they find themselves, does not mean that a northerner is better than a southerner. If you put a Tinubu and a Buhari in the same classroom, where they play the politics, would Buhari see Tinubu's back? Or a Peter B? People they just hype this guy so much. You use quota system, you get employment in the federal government job. All this nepotism, all these things where they happen, where Tinubu and co they do. Look at Buhari now. Buhari start all this Fulani led northern federal government. Fulani Hausa led federal government. Buhari start them. Tinubu follow. So anything you see happening today, the North started it. A typical Atiku will be in the federal service or will be in the customs. The people that are qualified, they will sabotage them, not getting to a particular position. Someone like Atiku, who is not qualified, they will just elevate them. They patch them, elevate them. When elevate them, can't be customs boss. Because of that popularity, the system that only favored them, look at the unity schools now. Look at our cutoff mark. Look at how people are being, so an Atiku now, through that system of favoritism, he will now emerge as custom officer. He become popular. The most qualified people are still under him because of one Nigeria and the system that the North has created for Nigeria. So you can't go use money, can't they campaign. After rising from the system, a system that is flawed. In a normal system, put a P2B and Atiku. Let them rise from the ranks. Come to southern Nigeria and come and face the competition. Which competition do you have in northern Nigeria? The only advantage a northerner has is the federal government. You only see them for federal government, federal employment. Because of favoritism, of nepotism. They become popular through nepotism or favoritism. A system that favors northerners more than others. Then when that one carry money, they come, okay, because it's a northerner, they come make a sentiment. That's why they put this north and south thing. It's called sentiment, not even because of competence. Called sentiment. They carry somebody, become presidential candidate. Then you now tell me, why would P2B, why would Atiku, former presidential candidate, former this, how did he rise to that level? In southern Nigeria, you go, even though there is also nepotism, however, but you go drag them. You will show your competence, your ability and capability. Because even though they use nepotism, put you in a position, if you don't have what it takes to maintain that position, somebody go bring you down. Not so popular in northern Nigeria. So once one is telling me that, why would an Atiku can in every way deputize the P2B. So the North should make a wise judgment by allowing this North and South dichotomy continue. If it reach northern Nigeria now, they can change it. It is not when you reach southern Nigeria. Someone come and tell me, say, is there any written constitution? Is there who you the wine? Who they wine for Nigeria? Okay, you reach Southampton, we're not going to preach on written where did they write it? It is north and south. Okay, when it is Jonathan's time, they did not know where they all ganged up against him. So northern Nigeria should be so wise to feature a southern person as president if they want to survive politically. If they don't do it, the loss of Buhari, in quotes, in quote. I'm not sure whether it's true, but the guy, the condition the president is now, I don't think he can be functional when it comes to whatever is going on around him. I don't think so, with what we are seeing. But with him in that state is a big loss to the political class in northern Nigeria. And I don't know what's going to happen to them. I don't know. But I know that it is time for southern Nigeria to take over southern Nigeria. One of the reasons why you see southerners don't want to join the army and all this is because of how the northerners have bastardized our security in Nigeria today. They have made it look unattractive. It's like as a southerner, you're going to become an army officer. It's like you're going to commit suicide because you believe that there are some Boko Haram people in the army, and the way they northernize the whole army, they might use you as a sacrificial lamb. You might not be going to serve your country at the end of the day. They are going to use you as a pawn or as a collateral damage to use you and sacrifice you. That's the way southerners, that's why southerners don't want to join the Nigerian army, because it's not attractive. The generals in the army, they don't steal the money finish, according to allegations from all these runaway soldiers. The generals in the army, they are sabotaging the location of their own people to the enemy. When southerners listen to all these things, northerners, now they go talk, say, we are rehabilitating Boko Haram. You are rehabilitating terrorists that have been killing. Northern governors that then go stand with terrorists. Northern governors that then go they sit down inside their house with terrorists. They chop food in northern Nigeria. It is time for southern Nigeria to wake up to the responsibility. If you are a young person in southern Nigeria, start getting involved in politics. Look at templates. Get involved in politics. Understand the language of the north and south, because it is the turn of southern Nigeria to start dominating Nigeria's politics. Now that the leaders, the Fulani leaders, are now going one by one, it is now for southerners to rise. Don't let them sell anybody, Kwankwaso and Co. All those ones. An average southerner is better than an average northerner. There are northerners that are good and exceptional. I'm not saying they are not. But when it comes to compare southerners, it is our time to come together, rise up, develop the southern part of Nigeria, and take our destinies into our hands. Even if we are having different nations, we need to still collaborate.